we're leaving Sahagun. I liked our little hotel.
Sahagun.
It was more of an American style.
Yeah, oddly enough, it ended up being one of the best places we've stayed.
Well, it was big enough.
Yeah.
They had good internet connection.
Bed,
The blankets,
king-size bed, comfortable.
yeah, weren't cold. They had
Bathtub.
enough blankets. And so today, because we can't find accommodations in the next section, we're gonna take a bus, skip a leg, and I'll get down to the next town where we do have accommodations. So that's called a pivot, and that's kind of what you might have to do. I mean, there are Alberques, but we're not inclined to stay in one unless we really had
Or
to.
even inclined to walk to the next place and see if there's a. It's just it's not what I want to do.
Like
So-
in this town, the municipal Alberques don't take reservations, so there's a very good chance that you can arrive in the town and find one. But what happens if you don't? Then you're stuck again.
Just for some interesting perspective, so the bus we're taking takes 11 minutes to
Ooh.
get
To the beginning of
to get to the beginning of our walk, but it would have taken like 2 hours to walk there, which is just kind of maybe even more, you know, because it probably goes off the, you know, where the road would go. But I just think that's funny.
This is not to be missed town. I didn't realize
Yeah.
it has a lot more history here.
I could do 2 nights here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even take the camera out. We walked around the town yesterday, and I thought there was nothing here to see because it looked more of a more
Industrial
modern town, but it's got a lot of really cool old historic buildings that are not to be missed. So
And there's really the symbolism of being the halfway point.
yeah,
You can even get a certificate of making it halfway if you so desire, for that in your memories.
yeah, so it's a good town too. I would stay here, although we've talked a little bit about some of the smaller towns. This town's got a good feel. It's got a nice sense about it. I like the town. So
Good grocery store.
very good, the best grocery store we've hit so far.
Nice and new.
Accommodations are pretty easy to get a hold of, so it's really a nice spot. The Alberque young man, 6 o'clock in the evening, showed up at the municipal Alberque and got a room. So
Or a bed.
yeah, well, yeah, that's right. So those are just going to be beds. So I do like the tradition that they're still keeping the tradition of the Alberques, where they're not accepting, the municipal ones aren't accepting reservations, and first come, first serve. So again, that's why.
Lady there was really nice.
Yeah, so we ran.
She didn't seem worn out. She seemed really
Yeah, real pleasant.
bright and pleasant one.
Who
wanting
was
to
working
help
at the
people.
Alberque?
We weren't even staying there, and she gave us all kinds of information about what to go see.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's got like a good
Gave us our
vibe.
stamps because our hotel didn't have a pretty one.
Yeah. So take the opportunity. There's lots of hotels, even the more traditional
This is
ones,
an old bull ring right
quite
here.
comfortable. Yeah. So what else? So yeah, we're headed across the railroad tracks, which is a bit of a schlep because there's not too many bridges, and then we're going to pick up a bus, probably like €2. So taxi
It's
probably
two.
20 euros.
2 each.
Yeah, 2 each. And
It's right at the train station.
here's the town.
Yeah, there was also a train actually.
Yeah, you can take the
Much
train,
earlier.
but much earlier. We didn't want to get
We
up
were
at
wanting a
7:30.
different experience.
Still chippy this morning. That's the bull ring.
The church off in the distance.
Yeah, again, I wouldn't miss the town, and I would spend a little bit of time in the old town. They've got some very great dioramas in one of the churches that shows Roman times, like 11th century, what the structures look like. So
They even showed the stomachs on top of it.
there's the crack of the morning for us. Got some pilgrims going the wrong way. just dropped us off at Burgo de Renero, and it was probably about a 12-minute bus ride. It probably would have taken us 2 hours, maybe more.
No, 4.
4? Ooh.
Yeah, by the map, it showed me 4 hours walking.
So we cut out
It's
4 hours.
literally an entire day that it cuts off.
So this is the town.
But we had to do it because there was no place to stay.
Not much happening here. We got the storks on the church top. Yes, a moment at the bus stop is going to Lyon to get some physical therapy done on her knee. The young woman who got off the bus with us, she woke up kind of sick and cramping muscles. So there's a lot of damage done on the trail, and people have to
Someone
pivot.
I had ran into this morning in the hotel.
Yes.
I'd met her a few nights before, and she had food poisoning, and so had been kind of laid up for a few days.
Yeah. So there's an advantage with, like
Nothing
Melissa and I,
right.
we tend to make our own meals as we go. And
Not
again,
eating
it's
out so much.
you think about all that exposure every day to different people's germs and coughing and touching stuff, and that's a lot of exposure. So we cut out a little bit of that. I think the fact that you are walking, you are causing physical strain, stress, if you will, on the body, and your immune system isn't going to be quite as robust. So those are practical ways to take care of yourself, if you will.
So
I mean,
funny. It cracks me up.
let's go down, just go around, just because it's probably the Camino's close by.
Probably. It's so cute.
Well, it's
Love
interesting
them.
that they're okay with it, you know,
I know.
like building. Oh, look at, they got the babies. I think those are babies up there. Look at them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they're
Huh.
babies. Oh.
Boy.
Buenos días. Buenos días.
3 cigüeños pequeños.
Pequeños, ¿verdad?
Pequeños, sí.
Yeah.
Sí.
¿Cuánto tiempo fui ellos? ¿Cuánto tiempo más tú piensas?
Poco.
Poco.
Yo creo que ya poco porque ya hacen ejercicios. así.
Ejercicio.
Ya
Ahora,
hacen-
ahora.
Sí, sí,
Okay.
Ah.
sí.
Es típico dos hace
Y normalmente 2.
dos, cada una mujer.
Cada pareja de cigüeñas, 2.
Dos.
Y
Ahora tenemos 3
3
hijos.
Sí, 3 hijos. Normalmente si hay 3, dicen que ellas tiran uno.
¿De veras?
Sí,
Pero
porque
si
no, hay
no hay comida,
para-
soportar
pero
3.
como ha llovido mucho, ha habido buena comida,
Si pueden.
han criado los 3.
Criados de 3.
Sí, sí, sí,
A
sí.
suerte.
They're alive.
Ah.
Sí, sí, sí.
She gave quite a lovely description. So that nest is, which is unusual to have 3 babies, and they're pretty close because they're exercising. She said that normally they would only have 2 because of being able to physically feed them. So they would throw one out the nest, and because there's enough food this time of the year, they're raising the 3. So lucky for the smallest one. And I guess because they are connected to the church, they see them as a symbol, as a spiritual symbol almost, you know, because they like to make their nests, which is lucky for them. And she also said that they tend to get snakes, rats, and they help the agriculture. So, you think this person is walking the Camino?
I don't know.
Boy, most unusual. Could I record you a little bit? Could I record a conversation with you?
Yes.
Okay. What's your name? Well, don't give me your full name, just your first name. Yeah, because...
My name is Airida.
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 Yeah, and you're from you Lithuania.
Yeah, Lithuania.
And you do feel the anxiety with the war.
Of course.
Yes, and...
Because we understand that if Ukraine lose,
Yes.
we will be next.
Do you think that though? Is
Yeah.
that just a supposition? Because
that crazy guy is saying that he wants us to come back to Soviet Union.
okay, so
And we are a very small country.
yeah, and you're not part of NATO. You're not part of the EU.
We are.
Oh, you are.
We are part of NATO and part of you. Yeah.
Okay, so but isn't that kind of the whole thing with if
But-
you're part of NATO?
So
Well, you don't have
for him,
you don't
for
worry.
him it's not important. He wants that
The satellite countries come back.
countries come back and that's it. And he is crazy. I know what does it mean to live in Soviet Union. I was born in Soviet Union, so because of that I know that Russia is such a crazy that they can do everything. They can lie. It's such a they can create such a big lie everywhere. And sometimes people just messing because they can't understand that it could be such a lie. But I know what does it mean. I lived in the Soviet Union. I know how it's happening, how it's working. A lot of lies everywhere. Lying everywhere for creating some kind of mass fears for people. And it creates for me a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
I'm very sensitive person, and I just feel that
Well,
there
see.
is no way. If I'm in such anxiety, it's so what to do? You know, it's great. What is great? I just want to create love, peace,
Yes.
but not the war.
Yes.
So even in myself, even my close surrounding. So I'm just trying to live for myself in peace, with my relatives, friends in peace, and
Well, is
what
it?
I can do right now. I'm doing just everything what I can do right now for
yourself.
support, for myself, and support myself and my family, yes.
Well,
And
are you doing
because I can't, to how to say,
to resolve it, to make to resolve it
and to make a country,
a certain way? You have no power to influence what's happening,
Yeah.
and so then all you have is you can only influence your own mind and what you do and how you
Yeah.
feel, and the immediate family that you're around.
Yeah, it's where I am and where all surrounding where I am.
See,
and
my
even here.
see, my family's from Slovenia, and I asked my Slovenian family. I said, "Don't you have?" They don't seem to be worried. It's not even on their radar of concern. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, but you're next door to Russia. Why wouldn't you be concerned about what's happening in Ukraine? Because they seem to think that that's over there, it's not going to affect us. But you feel quite the contrary. You understand what the greater intention is. It's not just Ukraine or a small border dispute and take back the Donbass area, but it's to reunite the old Soviet Union and take back the old territories that separated. So you think that truly is?
Yeah, I think because Lithuania has very big border with Belarus.
Oh, and Belarus is quite friendly with Russia.
So yeah, we are quite the same. Also with Kaliningrad, so it's a Russian part. So from the east we have only 60 kilometers with Poland.
With
Poland, only 60 kilometers.
And then,
So you know, when the people is saying for me that NATO will come and will help us.
NATO will come
60 kilometers with Poland. We have only 60 kilometers.
for You're saying for separation.
Yeah, for with unite with Europe. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, normal Europe. How to
Yes.
say.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
so how many hours
does it take
does it take for Russia to take that? That border? You know, 60 kilometers.
Okay, so it's much more. You're much more clear that this is you feel the anxiety.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, see, then that brings me back to
everywhere.
So
business also. Yeah.
So then why aren't more Europeans contributing more money to the cause in Ukraine then? Or even, well, I mean, they're contributing armaments, but from what I understand, a lot of the armaments are old World War II equipment. It's not the latest and the greatest like the fighter jets that Ukraine seems to be asking for. Do you have a sense of that?
Just I know that we need to help the Ukraine, and that's it. There are no other opinion inside me. There are no, because you know.
But why isn't more of Europe then actively helping? Why? It's Europe's problem. I mean, the U.S. is giving billions of dollars, which Americans are. I think it's very likely that Biden will not be president next election, and the next president is probably going to be less inclined to give money to Ukraine, and then it becomes even a greater problem for Europe.
I don't know, maybe because of Europe, right? You know, still there are many relationships with Russia, and they still can't understand. They still believe that it couldn't happen because we have never had such experience with Russia. A lot of Russians have business
Relationship with Europe.
With Europe, yeah, many things, and a lot of properties we have. You know, many things. We have a lot of money. Russian people.
Yeah.
Some people, of course.
So there's still a strong relationship between Lithuania and Russia.
And I think that people who doesn't didn't have such experience, they can't understand. You know, it's something like
you're more sensitive because
you have never understand women's how to give birth for the
because it's not his experience.
Yeah, because it's not his experience.
Yes.
So it's quite the same. We can't understand some things if we don't have such experience.
Such an experience.
Yeah. So for me, it's inside me. Inside me, I had such experience. I know what does it mean, and it scares me. So.
Well, why hasn't Russia then won? Why haven't they won already? This is the thing that I don't understand. Is Russia is a first world military power. Ukraine borrows everything. It's a small country comparative. So how is it that Russia hasn't already just taken? Why haven't they just bombed the heck out of Kiev and completely destroyed it? That's the part.
I think that sense of freedom and independence always is stronger than, you know, because Ukraine wants peace and Russia wants
more territory.
War. Yeah, I think God still there are somewhere. It couldn't be like if you want a peace and just life. Always is stronger. So of course it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of people, but
to stand
for
up.
some country, it needed. I don't know. It's
Is
for sure. It's very sad. It's very painful that they need to give so much, you know, so many people.
well, what about the Russian people? Are they getting tired of the war?
I don't know.
Are there more?
I don't know, because Russia is big.
Big country. They had protests initially, but I don't see the protests being advertised anymore in Russia, like the young people against the war,
Yeah, because you know.
because they get conscripted.
Yeah, because
Now-
everything is. We can't see the reality. A lot of people in Russia is still very poor, very poor. They don't have even such a things like toilets and.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because well, it's a big country.
Yeah, it's a big country.
It's a big country
of
with-
course, Moscow, St. Petersburg.
Are
And
sophisticated.
another, yeah, they are big cities.
Big,
of course.
sophisticated
They are
cities.
Very high and
Yeah.
very rich. But
The rest of the
but
country.
biggest, part of the country is very poor. It's really very poor. If they came, they came to Ukraine, small villages, and they took panties and bras and sent.
You think the Camino France is the only one where you're going to get where you have the real true pilgrim experience, where you have the donativos, which are really a place where you just show up and you give a donation. They're not. It's not for profit by no means.
Yes, and
But-
it feels how much love they're giving us, how much attention, how much help, support. It feels.
It's a traditional pilgrims
Yes,
setup.
it's very sensitive. It's very it's very community, family feelings, and it's and also not only walking it, because I think pilgrimage is not all about walking. But also about people, about meeting people, sharing, helping each other, supporting each other, and it's also pilgrimage. And of course, learning through walking. Yeah, that ultreia. It means that we are learning through walking. So
Well,
also,
now you've been walking for about 16 days.
about
Yes.
More than
What you described, out of those 16 places that you would spend the night, how many of them would have that type of spirit, would you say?
how many? Yeah.
Yes. Maybe 4?
Oh, I think more. I experience more places. Maybe 6.
Okay.
Or something more.
Like a third, about a third.
About
About a third.
Places where I feel that pilgrimage, spirit, that
Community.
feeling, and we get closer with people. We gave each other many things. We shared. We was crying. We was open. So how to say? Just it was, moments when you meeting people and you knew that it's really strong moments.
Hola.
Hola. Yes.
Well, see, maybe I missed that part of the Camino.
So I hope.
So you really are teaching. You're really on more of the traditional pilgrim's path, I would say.
Yeah, I told you that I'm trying to be as much open as I can
To this
and
experience.
to listen what people are saying. Is it for me, yes or no? Sometimes people just saying. I'm meeting some people who sharing their experience. I'm listening, and I'm letting that information to myself and seeing, do I need such experience?
Like-
do God inviting me
To process this in
yeah,
your
to go to that process, and I also trying to trust myself and to go through it, because sometimes it's not so easy because of pressure of surrounding, people going, and and sometimes
Like in life, you mean, or
like
in the Camino?
in life and in Camino too.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me about that. When you
Yeah.
say, do you see the same habits?
Yeah, because
That people get up early because they gotta rush and get to the next place.
yeah.
So similar personality types.
Yeah, but I trying to be closer with myself and hear myself, because one morning I wake up and understand that I don't want to walk at all, you know, and I walked only 7 kilometers, and it was, of course, I felt a little bit anxiety. A lot of people going
Past you.
past me. What I am doing? Why I'm not going? I need to go. But then I felt that no, I am not going. I stay to. I choose to stay in
your space,
in Donativo, and was amazing experience.
Oh,
It was amazing experience. We are cooking. We are cooking together dinner. We're preparing, and we are having a dinner. We had a special pray.
like a true communal,
Yeah,
true
we
pilgrim's communal
We
experience.
went through the secret path to church. They opened only for us church. It was full of candles, you know.
Oh,
So,
which Donativo was that?
it was in Gragnon.
Gragnon. Oh,
Yeah,
the big town.
yeah, in big town.
Huh.
Not big, not big. Gragnon, no. San Domingo was big, but after
Yeah,
yeah,
Pampelona.
it's small village, quite
Huh.
small village. So yeah, usually Donativo is close to the churches. Yeah, so
Huh. And they're connected like through either the monks or the nuns.
Yeah. I also experienced in one Donativo that volunteers wash our feet.
Serious?
Yes.
You had that?
Yes, I had that. And also they kissed our feet.
Serious? The who? The monks? Or I mean
No, those volunteers.
the volunteers?
Yes. So you see, pilgrimage is here, spirit is here. Just
Oh,
we
man.
need to be open. And I don't know, maybe I'm lucky, I don't know. But it's happening for me here.
Huh. Wow, that's yeah, a little summary on the conversation with the woman from Latvia, Lithuania. Quite concerned about the war in Ukraine, rightfully so. But so there are people that clearly do the Camino with a true spiritual intent, and you're probably not going to find it by staying in private rooms, hotels. The original system would have been set up where they were, and she would stay in a few donativos, which are basically by donation. And I thought it was she was quite touched because one of them, I think Logroño, not only did they wash her feet, but they also kissed them. And then she said that she cried. You know, she was very, very sensitive, very humbling moment. So, and apparently the Saint Jean Pied de Port to Santiago is the traditional route where there's more of that infrastructure set up, like the donativos, the church. She said that they would make meals together, they would sing together. There's a private passageway to the church that was all lit up with candles, and it was a real experience. So I think there are vestiges of the traditional pilgrim's journey that still exists here. I think perhaps popularized by movies, the Way, and few other things. Those are much more secular, but I think there's an underlying arch here. Harder to find those people because you kind of almost have to be following that same journey, like staying in the municipal alberques, staying in the donativos, and you're probably going to find more of those like-minded souls and have quite a different experience. So again, you don't know what the Camino will bring, and there are many reasons and many ways to do it, and And it's rather comforting to know that there still exists a place that people can take a spiritual walk, and the system is somewhat set up to support that. So I guess it's one of those that, depending on the attitude that you bring, you'll sort of manifest the things that you need. She said also that she didn't seem to have a whole lot of trouble staying in the municipal alberques. So, meaning that they weren't like over loud or overcrowded or noisy, and she seemed to do just fine with them. So I'm kind of saying that because there are different ways to do it, and you're going to have a different experience. And so even though maybe your inclination is to stay in the private things, maybe it's not a bad idea to stay in the few more traditional ones in a few alberques to sort of get that community sense of what the tradition of the Camino is all about. About an hour, 2 hours from our destination now. This must be the way. When you meet somebody who's got a special story, it's
Is it okay with you guys?
Well, we have no. Who doesn't mind? I have no problem with that.
yeah. Well, because
Be,
because sometimes the Camino can just feel like just a walk, and there's special people that have an experience with it that elevates to a more spiritual level.
Some kind of rice dish.
Okay.
I think they
Just
only
say
had
that.
one.
Just say some kind of rice dish.
But so you've done the
But- and it's
Camino
delicious.
7 times now, like from Pierre de, or different routes.
From 2017, I started in Astorga.
Astoria,
It's
No,
after
Astorga, we
Astorga is
haven't
after Leon.
okay,
2 days
past Leon, which is
after Leon. Yeah.
after Leon, so it's a little bit past the midpoint
it's
to
like-
Santiago.
260 kilometers
Okay.
from Astorga to Santiago.
Okay, so more like about what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks
Yes.
walking.
Robert flies.
He walks very
And
fast.
it's 2018 I started in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, full Camino Francés. And 2019 from Iron Camino del Norte to Santander.
San Sebastian.
Now, why do you keep doing the Camino? Why? You feel the call.
He wants me to be here. And if you get the
we go.
information, you come back.
And it tastes delicious.
But what is that? What is the
I wish I knew.
To meet us.
Yeah, of course.
Well, but no,
Probably.
that's
Probably.
because now the Frances Camino is supposed to be a little bit more traditional, spiritual pilgrim's way, with the way the alberques are set up. It's less about tourist walking. It's more of the traditional pilgrim's way, which is the contemplative thoughts about God, going to the source, to Santiago, do you feel that call?
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like someone playing a computer game with us because we're
Yeah.
meeting people from other
World.
nations, from all over the world, and say,
You-
let's see what's happening if we put these
Yeah.
people together. Oh, it feels like, yeah, maybe.
Now there's a group in California that like the Elon Musk and Bill Gates, they're supposed to be part of that, a part of a group where they believe that
We all pawn.
we live in a simulated, we haven't evolved. Think about our own technology. In a very short period of time, we've moved from a telephone that barely worked to now having a cell phone. And so a technology that was a little bit more advanced than us would make us part of a computer program. So you may not be too far off. And the thing is, what they said about those guys, they're all very rich, wealthy, developed, very strategic technology. They know the program, and they figured out the program. Anyway, it's an intriguing idea.
Yeah, but it's like the,
I can't prove it, but
but it's not like the
intriguing.
They say we are visiting the moon.
We're
We're visiting the moon. We go by a rocket to
at the moon.
but they don't have the power of a cell phone in the rocket. It was like a
Yes.
wooden steering ring, and let's go to the moon.
Yeah.
And then we say let's wait 60, 70,
70 years later.
Yeah.
And
maybe we go back to the moon. Someone is not talking.
not talking correct. Well, what did you have a recent spiritual experience on the Camino for you?
Yes, 2018, I was almost knocked down on my knees.
From? Because of why?
I've been atheist all my life, and when I came to Santiago, it was something very big.
Like what? What? What does that?
Cosmic power.
Because we're all looking for that. You know, we're in life. We disconnect from the source, if you want to call it that. And then life, if you go to the secular world, life beats you down. And then maybe this is what you're hearing. You're hearing the call back to the source, which would be the connection to the religious realm.
So you had been an atheist before?
Oh, you have?
All my life.
And then when you reached Santiago, the second,
I went down on my knees.
and it
From the
God
walk.
just revealed himself.
And from
to
that
you.
day,
Really?
I lost a lot of friends, but
Atheist felt.
But you found the most important friend.
for me it was really, it was
Yes,
life-changing.
I can tell.
Well, the day we heard it, everybody was practically in tears. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a Camino.
I'm so glad that
There's
you
something
found
to it then. There is something to it then. You think there's something more than just a little walk through the
Yeah,
countryside.
I've been feeling that the last
There-
few days.
I can tell. I've done some kilometers. But everybody changes their minds. You can't walk a Camino and not.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I'll share
that's
this.
what I think
The other morning I had the epiphany. I thought, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I can't see myself, and I think I'm going through life a certain way, and I can't see myself, but maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah.
It's very true.
It's
You
a
don't see
frightening.
yourself.
It's a frightening thing.
No, we don't see ourselves.
Yeah. Well,
always there.
I've always coined the expression that if you saw yourself walking down the street, would you know yourself? Like if you saw yourself coming, would you know? Because I see you, but you don't see yourself day to day. You see, and also when I see you, when you look in the mirror, you have your own mind, and it processes. Your mind processes your own information about who you are, but it may not be true. It could be distortions. That's a complicated part. It's like we're talking about how do you see yourself, and like to become, well, we would call it self-aware. To become a self-aware, self-conscious,
Statistic men can't. It's like nobody of us men can recognize a picture of our own penis.
Our own penis, like
You have a picture in your brain of your penis, and if someone take a picture of,
it doesn't look
and
so
you can
good.
find out this is.
Who's this? Who?
Something's changing a little bit.
I could.
Joanne, don't show me a picture. I'll be broken-hearted.
Well,
All these years.
maybe you should have turned the lights on. Yeah, I know. We'll.
Can I get you some dessert?
Hey, you're trying to distract. You better get us all at this. You probably better get a beer. It's
Some
gonna.
hot dogs.
It's got hot dogs. That's funny.
Take foot on them.
No German sausage.
Canadian
Nichts
bacon.
Weine. Oh yeah, the Camino, the Camino, very spiritual. I can see. I found a wiener on the Camino. Oh, that rhymes. I found a wiener on the Camino. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Woke up this morning
And-
and we were on my bed.
Degrade. The computer program dysfunction error.
Are you sure you want to delete all the files?
No, that's part of life too.
We-
Laughter is good.
Well, do share. What would you like a real epiphany? Okay, certainly it's a huge epiphany to be an atheist and then have the belief of God. That's major. There's certainly many books written about that. But are there other epiphanies that you would say that are more easily attained, more easily to? Like to do it how many times? You've done it 7?
This is my Camino number 7.
Number 7. See, that
Had you ever felt in your life before the Camino? Had you ever felt what I would call God knocking on your door?
No.
No.
no, see, and that's fair.
No, if you grew up in an atheist family, there is no God.
Then what brought you to the Camino the first time?
I was up in the north of Sweden.
Oh, the Great North, where it's tundra,
No, yes, it's
tundra
Lapland.
with reindeers. I
Yes,
mean, with deer.
yes, that's the China.
That's big. That's
And I was injured in my knee, so I go back to the mountain station, and I met a couple, and we sit down and talk to each other. And then the man said, and before he starts talking, he asked me, "Have you walked in another country?" And his eyes was start glowing.
like looking.
Yeah,
looking,
he was burning
you.
Yeah, his
with-
eyes was like.
We've got to do this.
El Camino. Have you heard about El Camino? And it was never. And it was 2016. And then of course, when I left, I googled
Oh,
Camino Francés.
What is this?
Yeah, what is?
Wow.
And
what appealed to you? Like when
wow, that's
he
like
tells you
that's like an angel coming to you to tell you what to do,
Something like
the
that.
message.
But see, don't you think that that's kind of like God knocking on your door?
yeah, but
But you have
You
to.
didn't recognize
at
that
that time I couldn't because it was just.
because there was no God to you.
Yeah, and it was. He looks very weird because his eyes was
So-
glowing. He was so excited.
Intense. Too intense.
Yeah, excited over to tell you about the Camino and say you must. He didn't say you must go, but he said,
This was special to him.
yeah. And it was like, I know I have to go.
Have you ever done it with anyone else?
No,
No.
no. Oh, I had a friend from Camino Francés 2018 who called me and asked me if I want to go to
Oh,
the Norte.
Oh,
So we started together.
okay.
But I got bad news from home, so I had to stop it. But yeah, I'm coming back to Norte.
You are to finish that one. Have you done the Portuguese?
and that looks
one?
like a butt.
Yeah, they've done the. Yeah,
I will do it.
you want to. Wow.
Give me.
Yeah, that's what I
give
mean,
me,
yeah.
give me. No, but if you only asking for things,
Have gratitude.
but if you're thankful, start to pray with I'm thankful for what I have, thankful for this day, for our friends, and then start praying. Something happens. It happens.
Yeah, and Joan prayed for a service that would pre-book her the hotel rooms,
You
and
know, I mean,
but then you
like
got it.
accept that. That
I mean-
came to you, and that's what you guys.
And you can do the Camino.
And you say thank you for the provision
Yeah.
to be able to make that happen, so that we can do this, right?
Yeah. Well, both of you guys look. You look better.
Not everybody.
You look better now.
I don't.
Like you don't look so beat.
Well,
You know
we
that?
laugh with that. I don't pray for it. I pray for what I have. family.
The thankfulness, yeah.
I don't ask for
On occasion.
help for our grandson,
Yeah, sure.
which worked out perfectly well. Very healthy kid now.
We're about an hour away. Gee, there's a farmer. I mean, all of this land, and you hardly ever see a farmer out here. And that fella, he basically said that the farmers get paid, I don't know if it's true or not, for every 1,000 square meters, which would be a hectare, 1,500 euros by the European Union. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he said, and so there's a push to cultivate the land. So they're getting compensated for it, perhaps. And this is the name of this town, Religios. Reyegos. Oh, that's a difference. Well, we got rain over there. It's a nice bird's eye view here. That's where we came from. That's something you haven't seen a whole lot in this town. 30 minutes out from our final destination for the day, Mansilla de la Mula. Not the greatest way to share the road. Fortunately, not too many cars. Rain in the distance over there, mountains in the far distance, sunny where we're walking. Walking into Mansilla de las Mulas. Doesn't look like any big yippity. Yeah, I would say that these towns are not nearly as historic as the earlier part of our journey. These are much more modern. I mean, not modern, but newer. Not quite the same charm, but it's along the path, and it's a place to lay your head. Towards the old town. The cart is full. The battery is low. Oh, that's kind of cute. Cuter than I thought it would be. Mansilla de las Mulas. Huh. There's your backpacking, tired pilgrims